No, it doesn't. We're on.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
I'm Mark Anthony, and let me pull up this other smuggy fellow there. Right there.
Here I be.
Here you be. That'd be Rick
See, I'm
Rosen.
hiding in plain sight.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, got the haircut. Yeah, gonna have the boob job, and then I'd be completely unrecognizable. No, I'm not a
All
boob
right.
job. I already did that
All
once.
right.
Well, that looks like
Well,
Speedway.
there you go. All right.
There
What
was some exciting
happened?
things happening out there.
Talk to me.
Yeah,
Tell me
boring
about
race.
it.
Boring race as usual. Mile on a track. A fairly boring race. Joey Logano dominated the first half, and then couldn't stop stepping on his own pee, and lost out to Ken Harvick, who dominated the second half. Jimmy Johnson found the wall. Jeff Gordon found their car. Screwed both of them up. I think Johnson finished 42nd, and it was not a good day for Hendrick Motorsports. Junior took the lead a couple times. You could hear the roar. I'm sure the people up in the rump could hear the roar coming to the stands when Junior took over, but that didn't last very long. Kevin Harvick ran him down, and Harvick washed up a bit, and Junior ran him down and got around him, and it was like 2 laps, and
Yeah.
and Harvick just smoked him. He has finished first or second in 6 races in a row, and he's going to Phoenix, where he's won like 4 of the last 5 races. So if you're a betting man,
Now, of course,
Kevin
we
Harvick's the
are.
way to go. They seem to be on a roll. Now, that does not necessarily mean I favor Kevin Harvick to win a championship. Back-to-backs are tough too. Guys that are hot at the time they make the chase is generally the better bet than the guy that was hot earlier in the season. So, and I guess
Okay.
that goes for a lot of sports, Mark.
Well, for those that are not sure what the hell we're talking about, what are we talking about?
The Cobalt 400 race at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, March 8th. The Xfinity race was that's Harvick's after the after the burnout. He was leaving stuff all over there, and he didn't care. The guy's body shop might not be all happy with him. I don't think there's a dent or a ding on that car all day long, and he did the burnout. And I've seen better burnouts. You know, Kyle does them. Kyle Busch does them about as well as possible. Both Busch boys were gone from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Is it no longer presenting? Is it a problem? Okay. Both Busch boys were gone. Kurt to his suspension, which now been lifted, and Kyle to the broken leg, which happened at Daytona in the Xfinity race. The Xfinity race was remarkable for me, and that my friend Brendan Gunn. By the way, Jeff Gordon has on the hood of his car about cure hunger, the fight to end hunger, and also about helping childhood cancer research. His PR guy, a client named Edwards, could not have been bothered. I had scissors. I said, hey, man, we just want to take a picture. Jeff cuffed the ponytail, and smarmy little bastards, no. And it was right there. It was not going to take any time. I would have walked with him, Mark. We were just want to take a picture. Brendan Gaughan stepped in, and Brendan and I have been friends for a while. What a tremendous man. South Point Racing Team number 62, and he said, "Yeah, I'll do it, man." And I said, "Well, whenever it's convenient." He says, "I'll be between the two halls. I'm running both Xfinity and Cup." And I said, "Cool." And when the Xfinity race ended, Brendan was doing an interview down on the track, and I was shooting a few pictures, Mark, and went down towards that end. I said, "Tell me you're ready, man." He says, "How now? Give me some scissors." So I handed him the scissors, and right there on the road at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, Brendan cut off the ponytail. And I kept it. He didn't cut it close enough to my head to make the minimum length to be a wig. On the other hand, our friend Amber Nixon gave us great coverage on Channel 3 here, K10V, and did the story about St. Patrick's Day and about me getting a haircut and
Right.
the different things like that. But like I say, it was, I don't know if it gets much better than that, Mark. I'm pretty sure I'm the first and only guy to ever have his ponytail cut off on the road at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And it was for a good cause. March 7th was St. Patrick's Day. March 7th was the 21st anniversary of my breast cancer surgery. The planets seemed to align. Again, it was very unfortunate that Gordon on his last go round was not allowed. I don't think there was any question that Jeff would have. He's also pretty much in a good and seemed very calm for a guy who has been beat up in the first 3 races. He has he's still looking for a top finish because he keeps running into people. Danica got in his way in practice, and he had to go to a backup car. So instead of starting the pole, he started at the back and fought that battle all day long. You don't know how it works out if he actually holds the pole, but he had first pit. Got some great photo of his team working feverishly to fix the car. They put a new end on it. They had bare bond. They had tape. They had every conceivable thing you could imagine. He kept him the lead lap. I think he finished like 11, something like that. But nonetheless, it was again. It's not for lack of trying. Bruton Smith has done everything. He's put more banking in track and done everything he can. But mile and a half tracks just seem to let these guys get strung out, and you see a whole bunch of cars going around one after one after one. And there's some side-by-side racing after whether after a caution or something that buzzes them up, one or the other restart. They had a competition caution, I think, at lap 27 because they weren't sure about the tires and those things, Mark. But it's always fun. The Xfinity race, kind of about the same thing, man. Once somebody got the lead, they were tough to round.
What was it? A full house?
No, not by any stretch of the imagination. The entire third turn, the entire grandstands between 3 and 4, a huge American flag, and support our troops, those kind of things tarped off, and there were visibly open spots in stands that you could see down toward one. I mean, they're all great seats.
Yeah.
I think, Mark, I would have to say it's the smallest crowd that I've seen for both Saturday's race, the Xfinity race, which was nationwide, which was Busch, and the Cup race. The smallest crowds that I've seen out there. I don't know if it's an indicator of the economy or maybe the honeymoon is over. I don't know exactly what it was. I mean, it was a pretty festive attitude, and there was a lot of people. The infield was packed, and there were people down there partying their little asses off for 3 or 4 days. They did the holler thing on the strip to start off, and I got some good pictures by the Las Vegas sign. That's Kevin Harvick with the confetti and everything. I'm not a big fan of confetti. And these photos are all courtesy of Tom Donahue, our buddy, my former boss out at the Speedway. And, I just want his frequent flyer miles, man. He does 4 or 5 things. He does the Super Bowl. He does the World Series. He's everywhere. There's something happening. Tom seems to be there. So, anyway, we will get my photos. Maybe I'll email you some. Are we going to take a break?
Yeah, but
I'll send you an email.
Yeah, but last year Tom had what 2 of his discs in his.
He goes up in that dim helicopter.
Yeah. All right, so it was a good race, but it wasn't a great race. They had a nice
exactly.
Yeah.
And it was again. That's not for lack of effort on anybody's parts. These guys are doing what they're doing, and man, I'm telling you, they get strung out, and the new aero package and the whole shooting match, and nobody got hurt, not any real wrecks, a lot of fender benders. Some of that like I say, included caught up Jimmy Johnson pretty early on. He and Jeb Burton tangled a little bit. So it was your usual beautiful weather. My God, you couldn't ask for better weather.
Yeah. I wasn't here. I was in the canyon.
You were out, and now today, the first 80-degree day, and they're playing baseball at Cashman Field. Major League weekend is here upon us again. The Chicago Cubs and the Oakland A's are playing a 2-game set tonight at 5 o'clock, 5:05, and tomorrow at noon. And I believe that's a game time mark. And anyway, it's a tremendous place. There's not a bad seat in the house at Cashman. I know tomorrow's game is a complete sellout. Tonight's game is quickly approaching sellout status. And they really go all out. This is something that I guess the Cubs uh, know they have a whole lot of Chicagoans here, and
Mm-hmm.
they do what they can to foster that. And they are very very popular. But just but big league ball fans, baseball fans, it doesn't really matter who's playing. They get to stay at home, drive home 20 minutes after the game. They're home from Cashman, and they've seen
Yes.
Major League Baseball. And this is the teams. The managers are making some of the final decisions on guys that are going to come up and go down and get their pitching rotation figured out, and this and that, Mark. So it's an important date. I mean, it's not just party time, but the players all seem to like coming to Las Vegas. So
It's Vegas. Come on.
I
You
can't
know.
can't imagine why. Yeah, and they really do seem to have a good time, and it's always fun once a year. To me, some people look for Red Robins. I look for Major League Weekend at Cashman. Your spring spring has sprung, man.
We have baseball.
Baseball. Yeah, I can smell the hot dogs right now. There's really these guys. I do the show with the Vegas Lions, Mark, and I know you're trying to do some things with them travel wise, but it is AAA football, AAA APFL, the Pro Football League. They're paying the guys, they're insuring them. They're fighting, as I say, an uphill battle, and gosh, I certainly hope that they can do it. But these things, there's a lot of predecessors who have left a bad taste in some people's mouths. On the other hand, you have the 51s, who are a very successful AAA team. They're now the AAA affiliate of the Mets. You get to see we saw the Rookie of the Year, great pitching. Several guys that played on the Mets last year came up earlier in the year through the 51 system and ended up back in New York. So geographically, it's not a great match, but man, that we get to see whatever there is, and I think that's always pretty cool, Mark. So,
Well, it's always
but
fun. I mean, it's baseball, springtime. Vegas is not
yeah,
boiling yet, and
yeah,
and I mean that's a nice intimate field. I like
yeah,
going to watch a
very
game
much.
there. It's very relaxing,
On
and
thir-
you
and
know
on Thursday nights, it's dollar beer night.
that's right.
I
So
mean, this is Vegas. It's a popular son of a gun.
they don't care what's going on. It's a dollar beer. We're going wherever there's a dollar beer, man. That's it.
that's and unfortunately, that's kind of how the deal goes. But that is what happened. All right. Would you like to? This is I'm going to take requests, and I don't normally do this, but our friend Carrot Top was out there, and he posed for us. He was wearing his Jeff Gordon shirt, gave the Vulcan salute for me, and so that was kind of cool. Mayor Goodman was out, Master of Ceremonies. That was cool, and had a great band. And I'll think of the name of them in just a moment. But it was a pretty neat
Rascal
thing, Mark.
Flats.
I think Vegas deserves. That Rascal Flatts sang the national anthem.
Okay.
It was the Davy. Yeah, I'll think of the name of the band because I had to
Okay.
send them an email with their photos in there.
All right.
But this could be the last time we see Danica Patrick. Uh, some guy took a photo of her with him in her glasses, and that was cool. That would have been me. And then there's always it's Jeff Gordon's last hurrah. It's Jeff Gordon's last deal here, and that's just a bummer. Stewart looks to me like Tony might be one and done. You just see the weight of the world on this guy's shoulders, and from the deal where he was involved in the wreck, couldn't when the kid got killed walking onto the track to give him a piece of his mind, and I think that's weighed heavily on Tony. I think the Bush deal has burdened him. He owns Eldora. He's just got a lot of irons in the fire, and I don't know that we're going to see Tony Stewart much longer driving a race car. It just doesn't look like it's fun to him. He doesn't look
Yeah.
like he's having the fun Tony Stewart normally has out there, man. And if it's fun, why do it? These
Right.
guys are out putting their lives on lines, and then you know, next thing you know, somebody gets out of his car and comes to blow you crap. And I don't think anybody in our lifetime, Mark, has done as much to foster grassroots racing, sprint cars and midgets. And back in the Midwest, where Tony Stewart, he has put his money where his mouth is and bought tracks and fixed them up. I mean, Eldora is beautiful now, and he saved it from the scrap heap. And he does a lot of things like that, and yet I think it's probably going to be the end of his career. You know, it just came down. It just seemed very, very unfortunate, Mark, that you watch the guy. He's one of the racers.
Well, Rick is somewhere out there someplace. This is what happens when you don't follow my directions and use wired internet. You use wireless. And this is what happens. You can lead a sportscaster to water, but you cannot make him drink unless it's alcohol. Then it's real easy. We were talking about the Cobalt 400 out there at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's a 3-day weekend. Pole day on Friday, the Xfinity race on Saturday, and then the Cobalt 400 on Sunday. There he is. Are you back?
There I am. I'm back. I don't know where I went, but
yeah. All right.
I was somewhere.
All right.
As long as you can see me, I'm good.
Let's okay. Let's move on to, well, how about basketball? What?
Yeah, UNLV is going to make the NCAA tournament. They lost. They could be don't determine maybe football. It's just not the same. He's a laid-back guy. He was a very intelligent player. He was a Tarkanian favorite. He certainly knows what he's doing. The ability, and he's a heck of a recruiter too. But they just don't seem to be getting the job done. Wins, losses, and good guys finish last. And so I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I would imagine there's going to be considerable pressure on Tina Konzerfi to get rid of David Rice and bring in somebody, and maybe high profile. They had Rick Pitino a few years ago and gave that up. So, we'll just the attachment's not uploaded yet. Okay. Excuse me. Still have the cold and I'm coughing up fur balls of rubber vest, and I was on the outside.
Yes.
And basketball wise, Mark, it is a fast break too, and it is a 16 guys, 16 winners are going to. Now UNLV's left the tournament, and they're not. They got quite a bit of talent, Mark. I don't think they reached their potential yet, and they're young. But it'll be interesting to see if Dave Rice is coach at Gorman. Who. If the axe falls, I think it'll be very, very shortly, Mark. And we shall see what we shall see. It again is not going to be anything that I think is going to be earth shaking. I don't know what big names are available out there or whatever, but and then you got the pros. March Madness is coming up, and that excites everybody about basketball. Put in their brackets and this and that, and then you get to see these guys immediately go from one place to the other, and they go from playing in the NCAA's to starting in the NBA, and that's pretty cool. Kyrie Irving, a youngster in Cleveland, who is a tremendous guard. I don't know if I've ever seen a better dribbling exhibition what Kyrie Irving put on the after practice, screwing one of the ball boys. It was absolutely amazing. Watch him. He scored 57 points for the Cleveland Cavaliers. They stunned the San Antonio Spurs, made a big comeback, and ran right past the defending champions. Kyrie Irving had 57. That takes a lot of pressure off LeBron James. If he can get some scoring help, Kevin Love needs to show up. Maybe he missed Minnesota. But NBA is coming down to down the stretch. The NHL is coming down the stretch. Some teams are out of it a bit, and now they get to play spoiler and maybe give some guys some time that'll pay off for next year. So it's pretty exciting part of the sports year for having no football. I mean, we got baseball starting. There's boxing, this huge fight with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather scheduled for May 2nd.
You keep going that scheduled.
Yeah, they had the big press conference in L.A. just last week.
Yes.
And Manny says he's a little nervous and Floyd isn't. And, like I say, Freddie Roach used to train Floyd Mayweather. Then Floyd Mayweather Sr. came back into the scene and he took over. Freddie Roach has been Manny Pacquiao's trainer for as long as I can remember. I don't know if it's from the very beginning of his career, but for an awful long time. And so I don't think there's any secrets that either one of them has for the other one. And it should be very, very interesting to see how this fight ends up going. If it actually occurs, I would be very, very hard-pressed to take Floyd. I would have to parlay something Floyd in a decision because he's not going to win any other way. Manny Pacquiao, on the other hand, TKO, KO, some kind of nonsense. But Floyd, I believe, is in the fight of his life. And if this fight actually goes as scheduled, I don't believe it will, as you can probably tell by the sarcasm in my voice. But if this fight actually goes, Mark, it will be a big moneymaker. But I don't look for it to be an incredibly compelling fight. Styles make fights. You don't have two bangers in here. You don't have two Mexican champions like you had with Castillo and Corrales, who neither of them reverse their gearbox. So they stand toe to toe. That's not Floyd. He doesn't like to get hit. And Manny's quick enough to hit him. Manny's got quick hands. But he was talking about the speed in his legs, and he doesn't think Floyd is as fast as he was. And I tend to agree. The speed guys lose that first much quicker than the punch guys lose the power. So it remains to be seen if and when the fight actually goes. Every day I log on and look to see if there's any injuries or anything like that that's come about, Mark. But again, I would be very impressed as a betting man to bet anything but Manny Pacquiao, and just because you're getting some back on your outlay, I don't think Floyd is a bet. Not straight up anyway. You'd have to part with a couple of them prop things like you were playing the Super Bowl or something like that. Right. By the way, I did send you an email with photos. So, not that I don't like Tom Donahue's photos. Tom Donahue is a world-class photographer. He just does come on the air with this.
So what's going on in
we can
NFL? What's up with
NFL? My goodness. Okay, Sam Bradford now for the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Foles now part of the Rams. They traded. Everything's going nuts. Jen McFadden's going to be a running back. DeMarco Murray. I mean, Aaron McFadden has moved on. Where the heck did he go? DeMarco Murray left the Dallas Cowboys for bigger money and to go to the Philadelphia Eagles, which is, and I mean, that's almost a traitorous thing. It's Dallas. They don't have much bigger rival, maybe the Redskins, than the Philadelphia Eagles. When you go from one team in your division to another team, you have to play them twice. They'll get to know each other that first time and say, hey, and I'm sure there's some guys who are going to want to whack DeMarco Murray. But he has to play them twice. And that second game may have a lot riding on it. Murray's not the most durable running back come out of Oklahoma. and he's had some in problems, as I think a lot of the free agents that you've seen move on, Mark, have pretty much done the deal and spent their
The,
time on IR. There's a lot of guys that are getting some big money to have some questionable durability issues. So, um, and maybe the teams that made the best deals didn't make any deals. Sometimes if you keep your own free agents, I know Thomas left for the tight end Thomas from the Broncos left for Jacksonville. And man, I mean, you talk about football hell. It's Jacksonville, Florida, and the Jaguars, and they've never been able to get out of their own way. He says, I'm change the attitude. I'm to the Super Bowl. I've done this. I've done that. So hopefully it works out for him. Obviously, he's going to get some playing time. But with Gary Kubiak coming in as coach of the Broncos, he's very much gone on blocking tight ends and establishing that running game. Thomas was not a blocking tight end. He was a pass catcher that just lined up at the tight end position. I think I could probably break through one of his blocks. So it's going to be interesting to see how all these things work out. Again, some of the best moves guys make are not making a move at all. And Frank Gore moved on from the Niners. When you start switching quarterbacks, and Sam Bradford's coming off back-to-back years of torn ACLs, so he hasn't played much meaningful football since 2012.
wow.
So it's and then to be put in that, it's a very curious thing, Mark, to me, that Philadelphia would take Bradford with the damaged knees, and the one thing you need in that offense that Chip Kelly had at Oregon and now has it at Philadelphia is a mobile quarterback. And Marcus Mariota, I think, would like to be reunited with Chip Kelly. Kelly recruited him, and they certainly know each other, and playing the very similar system from Oregon to Philadelphia. Marcus Mariota did not have an overwhelming workout at Pro Day the other day, and missed some throws that most guys that are wanting to play in the NFL make, and certainly missed some throws that guys that are already playing in the NFL make. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Brian Hoyer traded from Cleveland. Unless they make another move, it looks like that's Johnny Manziel's Johnny College Football, his deal to lose. So now we get to July, and you'll kind of see who shakes out and who doesn't when we start the training camp. But now we're just between football seasons.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it is that time of the year where everything's either winding down or starting up. There really isn't anything happening right now.
Yeah. We're in purgatory, sports purgatory.
Yeah. I mean, okay, we got the Final Four coming up in a couple weeks, but it's like, okay.
Yeah, but getting there is the point. It's that fun of the tournament. There's some teams out of the 68 teams that qualify, Mark. They know, we know, the guy that lives in the garbage can down the street knows they're not going to win the NCAA championship. So for some of these kids, this is their bowl game.
Yes.
When you play basketball, you made the tournament. Only one team wins the college basketball national title. In football, used to have a whole bunch of winners at the end of the season. Now only one team that's worth a damn. 1 out of 68 gets to win end their season on a win. Everybody else, the other 67 teams, are going to have a loss as their last game. And I think I wish there was something better we could offer these kids, but that's it. And now football's got, they still play bowl games, so guys can win. They can win the Poinsettia Bowl and go out with the victory in their college football seasons if they don't make the championship.
Yeah, but God, there's 30 different bowl games now.
Oh yeah, and only 3 of them that matter. The 2 semifinals, if they're only going to have 4 teams, they got 2 teams matched up, and the winners play. So that's 3 games out of, you're right, 30, 40, 50, whatever the hell it is. They have a hard time. They had to put in the rule that you have to have at least 6 victories, and still they waived that rule now and again if somebody's beaten a Division II opponent or something like that to count that victory.
Well, yeah.
And they do that so they have enough teams to play in these bowl games. They've done everything, and you see you know, 6-5-1 crap state versus 7-4 and one Little Sisters of the Poor. And
Yeah,
who wants
exactly.
to go see that? And yeah, that's what it is. It's a nice parade before the games, and it's good for the hotels and that. But
Billy
yeah,
Bob's, Billy Bob's College of Junk Collecting versus Idaho State.
exactly. On the Vegas Lions radio show this past week, Mark, we had John Riston, head coach of the Colorado State University at Pueblo Thunderwolves. Uh, they don't pay me to talk, I hope.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I was only their announcer for a longest time. Who took that program from absolutely startup? They didn't have a stadium. They got the stadium built in 7 years. They went from a non-existent program to the national champions of Division Two. And asked Rist is a friend of mine. I've known him since he played high school ball, and before that, I think he was probably playing Bantam League football. And asked him, "How do you do it? How did you start a team 7 years ago and have them be national champions? They were ranked number one a couple years before that and lost in the playoffs, and this year they cashed it in. So he brought them. It's an amazing ascension to the top of that world because some of those teams have been there, and Mankato State plays a
Hmm.
pretty good brand of football up there, but they've been doing it for 40 years.
Right.
This is a startup program, 7 years, and so it was real cool to talk to Riston, and he'd like to have some of our talent from Las Vegas. He realizes that we have some very talented athletes here in Vegas, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, whatever it is. This atmosphere here, the climate here is conducive to guys being able to work out. You play baseball in Colorado, man. You got 4 or 5 months. You're working indoors or you're doing whatever. It
Uh-huh.
just loses something in the translation. Here in Vegas, get out there early on a summer morning or whatever before it gets to be 180, and
Yes.
you can ply your craft. So it's a year-round deal here.
Well, except in the summer when it's 190 degrees outside.
Yeah, but it's not snow, so you can go out there. You
Yeah.
can get out or get out there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
You can do just whatever whatever, whenever, as long as you time it not to noon, when they don't make sunblock in big enough numbers to from broiling.
All right. Let's kind of wrap it up. There's not much else going on right now. Anything going on next week? Anything else going on?
Uh,
What's on the sports
well,
calendar?
on the sports calendar, I don't think there's anything major here happening, Mark. It's kind of that drawback from NASCAR when they come in. You don't have the Running Rebels playing basketball anymore. Tim Chambers does a great job with the Running Rebels baseball team there. This is the guy that brought you Bryce Harper, and so that's something that you can go do. The 51's obviously going to start their season very shortly. Tremendous value, boy. If you're a sports nut, do you realize that the tickets now, I think, for this Major League weekend are $35, and you don't have to travel. You don't have to go to L.A. or Anaheim or wherever you can, or Phoenix.
Right.
One of the let's talk about this for a minute. My buddy Fred Wallen, who I do the show with on Friday evenings, is in Los Angeles. He used to do the voice of the Dodgers after game and do all kinds of things there. 71% of LA cannot watch Dodgers games on TV, and we are part of their. How many people would travel? How many people are they? If they would broadcast the games here, maybe they'd get more fans that would want to go see a game live.
Yes.
But do you realize we're blacked out of Seattle's games? Now, I don't know who in their right frickin' mind travels from Las Vegas to Seattle on a regular basis. Who would to see a baseball game? Who would not do so if they were allowed to watch it on TV? But I think they were talking about the Rockies being blacked out here too. But obviously Phoenix, all the teams in California, San Francisco, and Seattle are all blacked out here. And so you have to go to a casino to watch. They want their money
Oh.
first. And
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think their reasoning for blacking us out makes any sense whatsoever. you saying, okay, we're blacking you out so people come to the park because we want to sell them hot dogs and get
Right.
their $20 parking pass and and all that stuff. Well, if I wasn't going to do that anyway, why not take the chance that you're going to entice me to go next week? Show me a good product, make it look like so much fun that you just don't want to pass it up. But it wasn't my call. So anyway, yeah, Mark, it is kind of a lull, but there's some big stuff coming up. The Masters is coming up for golf. Wondering if Tiger Woods is ever going to win another major. Hell, if he's ever going to make
No.
another cut.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I don't think he is. He's. Yeah. He's done with.
well,
He's out of
once
here.
once he stopped getting once he stopped getting oral sex, man,
That's right.
there went the golf game.
There it is, man.
You know.
I mean, again, we go back to Kobe Bryant's wife, who, okay, just give me another diamond ring and go do whatever you want, okay? Come on.
Absolutely. They wear and tear on my molars.
Yeah.
But and all the self-righteous people, that's I think that's probably what bothered me the most out of it, Mark, is the hypocrisy of it.
Oh.
They absolutely put Kobe in a grave, and turns out, she had a couple of DNA samples in her panties at the same time she was knocking on Kobe's door and saying, "Hi, room service."
Yes, that whole
Get a hand?
innocent thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Whole innocent,
Oh,
innocent whole, two different things there, brother.
yeah.
Yeah, the Cowboys did pick up. It's Darren McFadden from the Raiders is going to go to the Cowboys, and McFadden's going to be an able-bodied replacement if he stays healthy. Again,
All right.
free agents. There are not many of them that took off without good reason. Some of them weren't going to make the teams. Some old guys, Darrell Revis and Cromartie back with the Jets, and the Revis Island is getting to be a smaller island out there, man. Pretty soon he's going to be enveloped by the ocean. Age catches up with those speed guys. That's what your quarterbacks in your state.
Oh, man.
So anyway, well, Mark,
All right.
Always a pleasure, brother. You ready to get out of here?
I'm ready. Goodsportsmedia.com. Check us out, and we'll see you again next week.